Catch, clean, cook. In today's episode, we have a switch up of pace. About 3 weeks ago, we caught a cow. We took him to be cleaned. And today, you're gonna watch, for the first time, an epic moment in the Hunt Family Farm channel, us actually cooking our beef on camera for you. I wanna show you guys something. Isn't she a beauty? This right here is the Gravity Series 1050 charcoal smoker / grill. If you know me, you know that cooking is somewhat of a passion of mine, but being on the grill, it really makes it great. This is a very expensive grill, but I didn't pay a lot for it. I am an avid Craigslist shopper, and whenever I see something that I like, I always look for a cheaper option. And fortunately for me, I was able to get this. The small version of this grill runs about $500. This one, I got it for a good price. It wasn't full price, but this one is up around $800 to $900, depending on when you get it. Funny story about it, I had to drive to Raleigh, North Carolina to get it from a gentleman. He had the grill, I think he only cooked on it twice. And he wanted to sell it because he's more of a griller and he doesn't like the smoker. When I say smoker, I mean smoker of meats. He only used it twice, and he said it's been sitting, he wanted to get it out, so I was like, gladly take it off his hands because it was something that I want. I got there and I realized that this grill was a lot bigger than probably expected. The one I saw in Lowe's was a lot smaller, easier to move around. This was the big daddy of it. So I go to pick it up, I get there, and we drop it. So, right here, little character marks. This grill is a electric grill as well as it's electronically controlled by fans to regulate the heat. So it has sensors right here. It's a sensor in here, and it's a sensor there to like let it know that it's closed and safe to turn the fans on. Well, fortunately, in the fall, we did not break the sensor, so the grill did work. This is only my second time using it, so let's pray that this is a great episode. All right, so before we cook, obviously we have to light the grill and get it up to temperature. Cool thing about this grill is you load the charcoal in here. And so that's a little bit of charcoal left from my last cook. Today we'll be doing poor man burnt ends, which we're gonna take a chuck roast from the cow that we had processed, and then we're gonna smoke it and then turn it into burnt ends. One of the things that I love about this grill is the way that it cooks. Typically, in a normal grill under here, you would have charcoal, where the charcoal goes in this little thing on the side. And so you will light it from here, and you'll see it all put together. Today we're gonna be cooking with apple wood and lump charcoal. We're gonna mix it together so we can add kind of a smoky flavor to burnt ends. So comment down below if you are a burnt ends person. It's called pretty much the poor man's burnt end because we're using the chuck roast and not the brisket of the animal. We're gonna use the same technique, just a little bit different cut. I didn't want to mess with the brisket because it's a very expensive piece of meat, and the brisket that we have, I want to make sure I give it to somebody that knows exactly what they are doing. So I'm using the chuck roast as a bone in it. So we're gonna be using lump charcoal and just some apple wood. We're gonna mix them in here. It's gonna take a while to smoke these meats, so we're gonna go ahead and load this thing up. We're gonna kind of layer it, wood, charcoal, so it's a good mix in there. Just got these pieces of apple wood. We're just gonna drop them in layers so that we can get that good smoke flavor on it, have a cleaner smoke flavor. Put more wood. All right, so this is what you see. It's just You can see those wood and the lump charcoal. All right, we're gonna close this thing down. Latch it here. All right, now we gotta put some electricity to this baby. So here is. So we plugged it up. It's cutting on. Okay. We're gonna wanna get it to about 225. Now we're going to go ahead and light it. The proper way to light this, because we're not using lighter fluid or any of that, we're using a fire starter. That's all you need. You push the fire starter into this slot right here. And so if you look at charcoal's in here, you push the fire starter into there, and it literally got charcoal. The charcoal is right there on it, and that's how it lights. And so we have to pull these out. This is another thing that got damaged on the drive. We pull those out. Kind of just let it do its thing. It's lighting. Now we should kick the fan on. It has to be closed in order for the fan to work. So that's the other sensor I was talking about. And you can hear it blowing, so it's definitely working. All right, so we have 2.5 pound bone-in chuck roast. Like I said, from a cow that we raised on our farm, we had them processed, we had them taken. We're gonna make sure we do right by this animal, make great burnt ends. So I know there's this debate about washing your meat, right? Should you wash your meat? Does it make a difference? I think it's just a matter of preference. In this situation, I'm not gonna wash my meat because I know that the heat will kill the germs, but mainly because this is an animal that we raised. I know that it was in good health. I know exactly what this animal was fed. Like, I know where we took the animal to be processed. I know everything about this piece of meat. This is a true farm to table situation. So I feel comfortable and confident enough in our products that no, I don't feel like I need to wash the meat or boil the meat or rid the meat of anything that rinsing it off in the sink is going to do. Now, if you choose to do it, it's totally your preference. And you're not wrong if you do, you're not wrong if you don't. I just think it's a matter of preference. I think we'll be just fine. Step one in this process is we have to have a binder. And so I'm using honey mustard. I know some people use just regular mustard. I decided to use honey mustard. I got this stuff for maybe like $1. It's not anything special. Like I said, it's just a binder to hold the other stuff on. So I'm just gonna squirt a little bit on here. And you're just gonna rub it all over this piece of meat over the chuck roast. So it just serves as a binder. Take this glove off. This will be the one for squirting. I'm probably gonna throw this honey mustard away because we're just not big mustard people. Well, I'm not a big mustard guy. So it'll go bad. So this is a one-time usage type situation. Rub it all over. So here we have it covered in honey mustard. Then we're gonna add our seasoning to it, our rub that we purchased, just some Casey butt rub from your standard grocery store. Smells good. I think it's a combination of like salt, brown sugar, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, celery powder. You can make a rub, your own rub. I took the easy way out today. Didn't go for making one and just bought one. Just gonna apply it to the meat. So you want to just cover this pretty good. Take it, flip it, add more. Like, we ain't holding back on this, man. We gonna go ahead and season this thing up real good. Make sure you get the sides. Once it's seasoned, you want to probably let it sit for about 30 minutes. We're gonna let it rest for about 30 minutes while the grill heats up. Kind of doing a little update. Right now the grill is only it's set for 275, but it's only at 92 degrees. I want you to come around and see this. You may be able to see the smoke that's coming out of the grill. So it's very important whenever you cooking on the grill, it's raining, Jesus, cooking on the grill or smoking, that you put your meat on the grill when it gets to its proper temperature. If you put it on now, your food is subject to get that smoke, and that smoke has a bad taste to the meat. So we're just gonna wait and see. We're at 96 degrees now. We're just gonna wait and see, wait and watch as it climbs. I don't have a timer set with 97 degrees. Wait and watch as it climbs to its proper temperature, and then we'll go ahead and put the meat on and probably let it smoke for about an hour to 2 hours, somewhere in there. So we've reached the temperature. The rain is kind of killing us, but we are at temp. We're at 269. So we wanted to be about 270, 275. So we're close to that temperature. I'm gonna add this pan to kind of catch the drippings, but we're just gonna take this meat. It's a big piece. We're just gonna sit it directly on the rack. Like this. And some of the drippings will fall down. This has a grease trap on it, but I did want to catch some of the drippings, because we're gonna end up pouring it on to add another layer of flavor. And that fat's gonna render down all that marbling. It's gonna be real good, real good. So see you in about an hour, hour and a half. Low and slow. Low and slow is the key. Low and slow. Okay, so we're about 30 minutes in. Let's see what we got. Still holding at a good temperature. I just opened it, so the fan just kicked back on. Still got us at a good smoking temperature. I'm gonna check back in about an hour. What I wanted you to notice is this thing is on, but you don't see any smoke coming from it. That's a key thing to smoking meat. That means we're at a proper smoking temperature, because we don't see any smoke at all. You can see a little bit of it, but very little smoke coming. Then you're at a good temperature. Like I said, we're at 270, 267. Because we are able to use this beautiful grill, we can regulate temperature. But if you decide to smoke or cook something outside and it's colder outside, you got to be mindful of that when you are smoking meats or cooking something at a low and slow temperature. The outside temperature will affect the cook. So I'm not an expert at it, but I do know that has happened to me. That's why this beauty right here is such a gem, because it can help you regulate their temperatures. We're back. About another 30 minutes have passed. Let's take a look at what we got. It's pretty good. I'm spraying that with beef broth just to keep it moist. When you're cooking, you don't want the stuff to dry out. So Just keeping it moist with some beef broth. So I just inserted a probe that comes with the grill. It's one of the cool things about this. You just run it through here and it'll read the internal temperature for you for the meat. So right now, the internal temperature is 120 degrees. So we got a little bit of time for this cook to continue. We need to get up to about 200 degrees or so we got some time. So it's been about 2 hours now, and the first part of it is done. You can tell it's done because you can just pull it away from the bone. Look how easy that is. It just pulls away from the bone. I kept it moist. It's still moist, still tender. We're gonna cut into this. Like I said, we're making burnt ends. We're gonna have to cut this up and we're gonna put it in this pan. This pan is not dirty. It was just a pan that was used to catch drippings. Didn't really get many drippings, so yeah, we're gonna use that. But I'm gonna cut it up and then we're gonna put it in here and then finish it off. Ooh, it's hot. So remove this from the bone. Ooh, it's hot. So we just gonna cut in little strips. I want you to see it smoke to perfection. Still tender, still juicy. Look at that. Look at that. Still juicy. Still juicy. So we're just gonna pop these pieces in here. We're gonna do that for all of it. It's so tender. Wow, look at that. That is, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Okay. Just goes. Come on. Look, pump out. Oh, You can see the smoke ring in there. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the part that you're looking for, that smoke ring. Listen, this is so good. This is so good. Oh my God. The burnt ends process. Dang, that's so good. Wow, that's probably one of the better things I've ever made in my life. This grill, this cow, it's really good. We're gonna kick it up just another notch. All right, so now for the official part of making it, burnt ends. All right, what we're gonna need is butter. So we're just gonna drop the butter in here like that. See, it's just butter. We're gonna add some brown sugar, just regular light brown sugar. Some Queen V apiary. My sister is honey. This is the best honey in the world, but we're gonna add that to it. We needed to use up that bottle. Okay. We have just some grill mix, smoky rub. We're gonna add a little bit more rub in there. Not a whole lot. Don't want to make it too salty. Just a little bit. Boom. And we're gonna finish it off with some Korean barbecue sauce. I love this stuff. It's gonna add a little bit of the spice. Not much, just a little bit. That's what we have right there. We're gonna put this top over. You can use aluminum foil, but I'm just gonna use the top. It's so much easier because I suck at tearing off aluminum foil. Like, comment down below if you suck at tearing off aluminum foil. I always either tear a piece off that's either obnoxiously big or too small. Like, I never get a perfect sheet, so it's bad. So I'm gonna throw this back on the smoker, probably for about another hour, just to kind of let it do its thing. Then I'll remove the top, jack the heat up, let all of the meat kind of caramelize. It's gonna be really, really good. So far, so good. Final stage, I gotta show you what's under here. I know you see two pans. We've only been operating one, but off camera, I did create something. But first, I want to show you before. This thing is hot. It's hot. Show you what our chuck roast burnt ends look like. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. That looks amazing. Honestly, I will say I have outdone myself. All right, so what we're gonna do, take a little piece out of here. It's so tender. It's like, we'll just get a small piece of it. So we'll get a small piece of the cool, put it out to the side. We gotta sample this. Oh man, so tender. All right, but the next thing that we have here is one of my other favorite things. Smoked macaroni and cheese. Oh my God. We're gonna get a little corner of this. Just a little, look at that cheese. I put bacon in it. Oh man. Probably could have let that cook a little bit longer, but you know what? Damn. That was trash. Let that do its thing. This is my sample, so the moment of truth. To see if, number one, if I did a good job. See if I know what I'm doing. See what we have here. It's been a long process, but this is like a real farm to table situation. This animal was born, raised, processed, had great days, and now we get the end result. Wow, that's so good. It's so tender. Like, that is so good. Like, I'm really like shocked at how this turned out. It took so long to make, but it is so good. Let's see how this macaroni is doing. Bust. The burn ends are 10 out of 10. Macaroni and cheese, probably some of the best macaroni I've ever had. And I'm not being biased because it's me talking. The smoky flavor just adds a different element to it. It's honestly, man, that's good stuff right there. I'm proud of myself. I'm happy that it came out. Comment down below if you would like to see more of these kinds of videos. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, comment. That was a 10 out of 10 for sure. Let me know your burnt ends recipe. Send me a link to that. But until next time, peace out.